You know that feeling, right? That awkward silence where you're just scrambling for the right thing to say? Well, we're going to fix that. Today, we're building a complete toolkit that'll take you all the way from a simple hello to confidently making plans, so you can forget about being tongue-tied for good. And that's the big question, isn't it? Our goal here is simple: to get you to a place where you feel ready and able to handle pretty much any conversation that comes your way. All right, so let's jump right in. Think of this as a journey where we're going to build your skills right from the very beginning, one simple, powerful step at a time. We're going to build this toolkit in three main stages. This is basically your personal roadmap to becoming a fantastic conversationalist. So, first up, we're going to lay down a solid foundation by talking about the one thing you're the absolute expert on: you. After that, we'll get into how to exchange ideas. And then, for the finale, we'll learn how to turn a great chat into a real connection by actually making plans. It's a supernatural progression, just like how the best conversations really happen. Okay, so every single great conversation needs a solid starting point, right? And the easiest, most comfortable place to begin is always by talking about your own life. Just think of it like your home base in a game. It's the place where you're always the expert. So, what does that even mean? Well, it's all the stuff you already know inside and out: your family, what you do for work or school, your daily routine, your hobbies. You're the world's leading expert on these things, and that makes them the perfect launch pad for building some real confidence. Now look at this. It's such a small change, but it makes a huge difference. Instead of just saying work 9 a.m., which is kind of like a dead end, right? A full sentence like I usually go to work at 9 a.m. sounds way more natural and fluent. It's like opening a door for more conversation instead of shutting it. And hey, if you want to make your sentences even better, start sprinkling in these simple time expressions. They add so much color and detail to your stories. Suddenly, you're not just saying what you do, you're painting a picture of when you do it, which is way more interesting for the listener. Okay, let's see how this all plays out in a real chat. So picture this: someone walks up to you and asks this super common question. And boom, that response is just perfect. Why? Because it's a full sentence and it's got one of those time expressions we just talked about. This makes the answer super clear, it sounds confident, and it makes it incredibly easy for the other person to keep the conversation going. See? Because that first answer was so solid, the conversation just flows naturally right into the next topic: hobbies and what you do for fun. Okay, this reply is gold. It does everything right, it answers the question, it adds a little detail with on weekends, but here's the really crucial part: it asks a question back. That simple phrase, how about you, is like a secret weapon for keeping a conversation balanced and moving. All right, so once you've got the hang of talking about yourself, it's time to level up. Let's move on to sharing your opinions and ideas. And here's the thing: it's not always about what you think, it's about how you say it. The real skill is sharing your perspective in a way that keeps the conversation friendly and respectful, especially when you don't see eye to eye. So think of this chart as your personal cheat sheet for expressing ideas. You've got the exact phrases you need for giving your opinion, for agreeing with someone, and maybe most importantly, for disagreeing in a way that's still friendly. These are basically your templates for having a good, respectful discussion. Honestly, this idea of softening language is a total game changer. When you use a phrase like, I see what you mean, but before you give your own opinion, it sends a powerful signal. It says, hey, I heard you and I respect your point of view. It keeps the conversation going even if you disagree. Okay, so we've built our foundation, we've shared some ideas. Now it's time for the final and maybe most important step: turning that great chat into an actual connection by making plans. And you know what? It really can be this simple. These phrases here, they're clear, they're friendly, they're direct, there's no guesswork. It's a really easy way to show someone you enjoyed talking to them and you'd like to do it again. Of course, being on the receiving end is just as important. Knowing how to respond, whether you're saying yes or sorry, no, is key. You just want to be clear and polite. These phrases give you the perfect script for either scenario, so you can skip any awkwardness. Okay, let's play this out. It happens all the time, right? You get an invitation, but you're just not free. So how do you say no without sounding rude or hurting their feelings? This is a fantastic response. Let's break down why it works so well. First, it starts on a positive note: I'd love to. Then it gives a simple reason, nothing complicated. But that last part, maybe next time, that is so important.
It tells them you're genuinely interested in connecting later, and that keeps the door wide open.
So there you have it. We've built the whole toolkit from the ground up. But how do you get good at using it? How do you make all this stuff feel like second nature? Well, it all boils down to a super simple, consistent practice plan. And the best part, you don't need to block out hours in your calendar. Seriously, just 1 minute a day is enough to start building real confidence. For example, just try talking out loud for 60 seconds about what you did today. That's it. It's that easy to start. Here are a few really simple but powerful things you can do every single day. Try talking about your day for a minute, or explain one of your hobbies in about 30 seconds. Describe someone in your family. You could even just role play asking a friend to get coffee. These tiny little daily exercises will build up to massive confidence over time, I promise. Look, you have the tools. You have a simple plan. Now it's all you. It's your turn to put this stuff into practice and start building those connections you want. So, I'll leave you with this one question.